I went and saw a law firm, and they read me the law,
Oh.
New Jersey law, and the guy said, as the law states, you have no recourse for a lawsuit. And he goes, there's advocates
Look at this.
who have been working for 15 years to get a new law, and they haven't gotten anywhere yet. Maybe you can join them, and your story's so over the top that you can sway some senators and Congress people to pass a new law.
Your stories.
And I'm like,
Your
yeah.
story.
He goes,
You
I
weren't
got the
passed
numbers of the
around.
advocates. I'll set up a meeting here in my office. I'm like, cool. So I went in for selfish reasons, just for myself, and I walked out of there becoming an advocate for everyone in the state.
Passed around, used as an addict, made an addict.
I started meeting with senators,
made
lawyers,
things.
Catholic Church.
People make you think that there's something wrong with you.
Before the House Judicial Committee.
I wish Robert would get to do this.
After becoming an advocate, and people telling us you will never get a new law passed in New Jersey. We went from the worst law in the country
to getting the bestest.
2 years of being an advocate. I was in Trenton, New Jersey, to see the final vote, and it was voted in unanimously. When I was locked up in prison, I heard that internal voice for the second time as I sat in my cell quietly one day, loud and clear, saying to me, you're going to become a motivational speaker.
I'm going to become a motivational speaker because somebody has got to be motivated by these eyes, these laser beam blowjob eyes. Somebody's gotta life.
I think it was because I had all this shit.
Yeah, that's the boys. I got a life.
I'm gonna stand up in front of people. They're gonna see all this crap.
Make me life. I had to. I'm always crying on the inside. I saw my mom and my dad, my husband died.
And I thought to myself, how's a dude coming out of prison for murder ever going to get a motivational speaking career going? Less than 2 months out of prison.
We're feeling better about each other every day.
One of the pastors who used to come into the jail and teach Bible study said, you gotta come
now
to
our
my church.
heads are out of the cesspool. Now we can actually breathe and not be in the shit completely together.
We're baptizing people in tubs that were made by New Jersey prisoners.
Oh,
he goes, how ironic would that be for you to get baptized in a tub made by your fellow prisoners?
Oh.
That'd be pretty cool. Let's do it. And I had to read this testimony in front of like a congregation of like 500 about why I was getting baptized.
That sucks.
And in the audience was this.
Well, I would have said because I don't want to kill myself.
She heard my testimony.
I'm afraid that if I do not do this, I'm going to kill myself.
I'm presenting at Centenary College.
April is
Would
sexual.
you like to be my guest speaker?
April, May.
Absolutely. So here, less than 4 months out of prison, where I had no idea I'd ever become a motivational speaker, this door is getting opened by God for me.
Here we go, God.
And from
Here we go,
the time
God.
the law got passed in New Jersey, I concentrated more on speaking.
Look at
I
that.
spoke in rehab center.
Look at that big of man right there. That's all you can see is that big old man.
I went back to the jail where I had been held for
my
murder
life
for 3.5 years and got to speak to the inmates there.
He's got a big old wiener.
A director of a play, off-Broadway play called Blackbird, based on molestation, reached out to me and asked if I'd be guest speaker after the play on stage. And I'm like, absolutely. Twice I went and spoke on stage after the play.
Twice I went and spoke on stage. Sorry, I had to make a little joke.
NBC did a documentary on me. The producers of NBC did a documentary on my case. And I got on the Tamron Hall daytime talk show.
Oh, it was this week.
And from being on that talk show, I got offered a speaking contract by a firm out of LA who wanted to represent me as a speaker. So that little voice I heard in that prison cell saying you're going to be a motivational speaker. And again, I scoffed at it. So
This is who needs to represent you,
A
Robert.
few years down the road, I just get offered a contract by a speaking firm.
This is what you need.
And I share this stuff to try to give people hope. That's the one thing that always kept me going. People are like, how have you survived all the shit you've survived? And I'm like,
don't have a choice for starters.
I went through life without any purpose, without any meaning. All I was trying to do was just stay one step
Some
ahead
of
of
you
my
just
pain.
kind of walk around like zombies, eating your brains like me.
Helping other victims open up, helping them speak out, letting them know they're not alone. I always felt alone in the world, like nobody else could understand the pain I was carrying inside. Well, there's a hell of a lot of people who understand the pain I'm carrying inside. And I always held on to hope, and that always kept me going. If you can just retain a little bit of hope, it can keep you motivated. And I stayed motivated.
Just need a bit of hope.
When I was locked up, I wrote a manuscript of the first half of my life, and I dreamed of like getting a book deal. And I wrote 3 book proposals and got nowhere with them. And out of the blue, Simon & Schuster read my last book proposal and just offered me a contract, which I just signed a few weeks ago for a book deal. I just finished up a multi-episode documentary. A producer reached out to me and said, your story's amazing, it's inspiring. I want to give
Robert,
your voice to other people to help them open up. And we just finished up this multi-episode documentary, filming it. And that college sweetheart who I lost 30 years ago, who I hated myself that I couldn't commit to her, I couldn't take the next step with her. After 30 years, I finally reached out to her to apologize, to tell her why I couldn't commit to her. She used to say to me, we'd be lying in bed together, and I would just stare off into the distance, and she would be like this, and there would be nothing. And she'd be like, hey, hey, hey. You're like, what? She goes, where did you just go? I'm like, what are you talking about? She goes, you just left me. She's like, where'd you disappear in your mind to? I have no idea what you're talking about. So she always knew there was something troubling me, but didn't know what it was. I had reached out to her and explained my story, explained how I finally had meaning and purpose to help others now, explained all the good I was doing with my life. I'm 10 years sober. And we got together for coffee 2 weeks after I reached out to her.
I was gonna die if I stayed in that RV. Well, I was gonna die if I was staying in this place by myself too.
To where I was suicidal. I was held in a suicide cell
hate
for 4
being
weeks.
suicidal.
I was put
more
into
than
jail
anything.
for murder, for murdering a lieutenant who worked in that very jail. It doesn't get much worse than that. And yet, a few years down the road, by holding on to hope and by taking chances and not caring if I failed and throwing as much mud against the wall as I possibly could, one thing after another started coming through in my life. And now, just the opportunity to reach people on a large scale and get them to open
honey
up.
bunny.
When people hear my story, they
Wait
relate
till
to it.
you hear this.
You relate to people that
My
have been through the
Robert
same fire as
Godinez.
you.
My
And
Robert.
breaking your silence is the first step to healing.
My
And I
baby.
don't mind throwing all my garbage out to the world if it'll help the next person break their silence.
Wait until they
I
see
learned
you.
this line in therapy. It's from the AA Blue Book, but it's so true. It says, we are only as sick as our secrets. I had secrets up to my chin. And I was sick. I was sick inside.
Soft White
So speak out,
Underbelly
break your silence.
by Mark Leda.
Don't hold secrets in. And let's begin healing.
Let's do that, honey
Thank you.
bunny.